Hello, my name is Omar Hernandez. I am the manufacturing process manager here at Morrison Cup Solutions. Welcome. Today's goal is to understand our expectations, learn the basics of working safely, understand our quality and GMP requirements, documentation, basically learning more about the company, about what we do, how we do things, and the stuff that you can expect, working here at Morrison Cup Solutions. All right, so what do we do here at Morrison Cup Solutions? So we are a cup manufacturing company. We manufacture EPS phone cups. We also form double wallpaper cups, and we offset print on plastic and EPS cups. Pretty much our goal is to make the right product, make it correctly, and package it correctly so that our customers can get the product they expect from us. All right, some of the things that we expect from you is going to be for you to work safely every day, follow the safety rules every time, wear the required PPE. Second is going to be quality. Follow your work instructions. Pay attention to the product that you are making. If something doesn't look right, stop and ask and let your supervisor know. Keep your areas clean at all times. Keep your workstations clean as you go, and also at the end of the day, there is a cleaning schedule. Make sure you do it as well, and be part of the team. Be respectful. Communicate with your team. If you have any questions, again, reach out to your supervisor for more information. All right. When it comes to safety, safety is going to be pretty straightforward. Um, Simple, but yet the most important thing here at the facility. No production is more important than your safety. We want you to go home after your shift to your family safely. Therefore, always follow your supervisor's instructions, wear the required PPE. Basically, the PPE that we require here is going to be eye protection, hearing protections at all times in all production floors. Stay away from any type of equipment, moving equipment, forklifts. Be aware of machinery that can start up at any time. Keep your hands, away from moving machinery. Report any unsafe conditions immediately. Do not attempt to run, operate, or work on any equipment that you're not trained to do so or authorized to do so. Don't ever remove any machine guarding or any safety device. And if you see something that looks dangerous to you or unsafe, or you're unsure whether it's something that needs to be looked at, let your supervisor know, and we will look at it and we'll take care of it. Stop and ask always if you're unsure. All right, let's talk about PPE a little bit more. As we discussed a little bit ago, safety glasses, hearing protection is going to be the main PPE that we have to wear at all times in the production floors. Also, whenever you are touching cups, if you're bagging cups, if you are loading cups on machinery, you have to wear the latex gloves. Um, Also, closed toes is a requirement. We cannot wear sandals, no Crocs, or anything that has an open toe. We don't require any safety toes as of right now. It just has to be a closed toe shoe. Wear the proper clothing. Okay. Um, wear clothing that cannot be caught in the moving equipment, such as baggy or loose fitting clothing, hanging chains, or any type of jewelry like that. Basically anything loose that could become caught in the machinery. Uh, and we discussed before already, keep the machine guarding on at all times. Never remove it, never bypass it, or reach around the machine guards or any safety devices. All right, let's talk about GMPs now. GMPs is good manufacturing practices that we follow to prevent contamination and protect pretty much the product that we're making for the customers. GMP is all about personal hygiene, washing your hands after going to the bathroom, washing your hands after breaks, after eating or drinking, after you handle trash or anything that could be dirty. Essentially, whenever your hands may be contaminated and you have to go handle product. Part of our GMP program as well is going to be hair and beard nets. We have those throughout the facility at each employee entrance. So make sure as soon as you're walking into the production floor, wear your hair nets, wear your beard nets. If you can pinch your hair or beard, you have to wear a hairnet. That's pretty much the rule of thumb. No food or drinks are allowed in the production areas except for plain water and a approved leak-proof container. Um, Keep product protected. Wear your gloves when you're handling product. Do not place cups or packaging materials on the floor. If the cups, fall on the floor, make sure you throw them away. Don't put them back in the box or anything like that. And report anything that could contaminate the product to your supervisor. Let's talk about emergencies now. If there is an emergency, we want you to stay calm and follow the instructions. Immediately stop work when instructed. Follow your supervisor's directions. Know the locations of emergency exits. Know the designated evacuation route. Your supervisor will go over that with you. It is different depending on the department or building that you're working at. Uh, Go to the designated assembly area, also known as muster zone. Do not re-enter the building until you're authorized to do so, and report emergencies immediately. Report a fire or smoke, chemical spills, if somebody got seriously injured, any medical emergencies, any equipment or electrical hazards, unsafe conditions, any situation that could put people or the product at risk, it needs to be notified to your supervisor immediately. All right, let's go over quality now. Quality is going to be very much like safety. It's going to be everybody's responsibility. We expect you to follow your work instructions that you've been trained on. Pay attention to the cups that you are handling. Look for defects or anything that could be wrong with the product. Keep the product clean and protected at all times. Handle cups carefully to prevent damage. Again, when you're handling product, you have to be wearing your latex gloves at all times. And just report any quality concerns that you might have. You will be trained on how to fill out the quality sheets. You will be trained on how to look for defects. And if you ever have any questions on quality or you're not sure about something, let me or the supervisor know, your supervisor know. We will be happy to go over as many times as we need to when it comes to checking quality on the product. All right, let's talk about good documentation practices, also known as GDP. Pretty much, this program will help us provide proof of what happened during the production shift, right? Uh, this good documentation will help us track production and quality, maintain product traceability. If we ever need to refer back to the quality sheets, we have good documentation, stating what happened, how it happened, if we had any issues during the production. Um, it'll have the measurements, for weights, and all the stuff that we check in the quality sheets. It's gonna have that traceability behind it. Uh, it would help us with identifying problems and also correcting them. If we had a one of the quality categories, if it was out of spec, it'll show on there that we did something to fix the issue. It also meets the customer and our QMS, which is going to be our quality management system under ISO. It'll meet the customer requirements and ISO requirements as well. This essentially protects the company and the customers to ensure that we have good quality product. Um, so how do we complete these records? Basically, all the records that you're going to be doing, or the majority of them, is going to be the quality sheets. So always use blue or black ink, pen only. No pencil. Don't use whiteout or anything like that if you have mistakes. We will go over how to, correct mistakes in the next slide, and ensure you're writing clearly, legibly. Enter the information when the activity is performed, meaning don't enter information, before you actually do the check. Or if you did miss the check, just put a note on there why you missed the check, whether the machine was down, whether they were doing maintenance on the machine, going to break, whatever the reason might be. It's better just to put the reason rather than just making up some numbers and being not truthful about it. And put your whole name. We don't need just your initials or your first name. We need the whole name to know who's doing the quality sheet. Um, Use the correct date format. We will go over that in details, how to do the correct date format. Complete every required field. If it has a blank spot for information, it needs to be filled out, or it needs to be noted as not applicable, or not required. Uh, Again, keep all information truthful and accurate. If you get a bad reading or a bad value out of spec, go ahead and write it on there. We want to catch those mistakes. We want to catch all the out of spec information so we can fix it. And later on, if we know that we had issues during the shift, um, we can report back to the customers, and more importantly, we can prevent this from happening again. Never scribble over information. If you do make a mistake when documenting information, it's okay to have a wrong letter, wrong number. Just make sure you don't scribble over it, overwrite it. Try to make an A look like a zero, or something of that nature. Just strike it out one line. Again, we will be going over that more in details, and just you know just write the correct value, the correct information, and initial date. Again, same thing, no overwriting information. Uh, Erase information, you cannot erase it. That's why we use blue or black ink pens. Okay. No, don't use whiteout either, and don't backdate records either. If you missed a check, again, like we've discussed already, just note the reason why you missed the check. That's it. Don't try to go back and say, well, I'm going to put the time that I missed and then just write something there. Again, that's going back to being truthful about the information. Um, don't guess or make up any information. Whatever you get, and that's what you're going to document. Okay. Record. Don't record something you did not actually do. Again, if you did not do the check, do not record it. That is called falsification, and that's something that it could lead to termination here, because you're falsifying documentation. You're not being truthful about the documentation. All right, so here we have an example that I want to go over. This is an example of a quality sheet, and I want to just go over some of the mistakes that are being made so you don't do the same thing. So here you can see how this person here did not fill out everything correctly. We have the 4 digits for the year and the week. Uh, it's a number that we use to trace back to the pallet that to the week the pallet was produced, pretty much. Okay. So again, if the quality sheet has a box for information, you need to write down whatever information you need to put on there. Okay, that's one of the mistakes right here. Another one that we can see is this scribble right here. this person didn't mean to initial here, but instead of just correcting it, they just scribble over it. That's something that we can't do either. In this case, if you did not mean to initial in the box, you would have to strike out with a single line and then initial and date that mistake. Okay, another one here is all this right here. We don't need all these lines across all the boxes. If if you don't have information here, just one line across will do it. And then initial and date, as we already talked about. Uh, don't see any more issues here other than the ones we already discussed. Well, except for the uh, the date. That's not the correct format. We will go over that on the next slide, how to do the correct format. But essentially, we want to keep the whole sheet clean, legible. If you can't read it, most likely we won't be able to read it either. So make sure everything is legible. Make sure you keep it clean. Fill out every box with information. If you do not have anything to put on there, uh, write down NA, initial and date. All right, so now let's go over the correct way to fill out a quality sheet. So here we have multiple examples of how to properly fill out the quality sheets. Let's begin by talking about let's talk about the day format. So here we have the day format as we previously talked about already. We have 2 digits for the day, so 08, and then we got the first three letters of the month, MAY for May, right? And then 26, which is 2 digits up for the year. So that's pretty much the day format that we're gonna have on anything that you're documenting. The second thing we have here is this line across all this downtime right here. So whenever there is downtime, which we understand is going to happen, we know that people are going to have to shut down machines for maintenance, for breaks, whatever reason it might be. You won't be able to get your quality sheets or your quality checks. So therefore, you're going to have, a space right here. But we want to know the reason why you couldn't get your quality checks done. And in this example, we can see that the machine was down for maintenance, and then the person initial and date. So again, the reason why the machine is down or why you couldn't get the quality checks done, initial and then dated. And you don't have to do a bunch of lines. You don't have to do an X right here. Just a diagonal line across here, and that's all we need pretty much. Okay. Uh, Another thing is that you see everything is filled out. Everything that has a box or a place for information is filled out. The date, the shift, machine number, the cup size, the 4-digit year and week, the name of the operator, the work order number. There's two boxes right here for the yellow and the red information. They're all filled out. If you do not have anything, just put NA. You know, that will tell us that it's not applicable. You did not have any values there. All right. Last but not least, let's just go over the summary of remembering the basics of what we just talked about. First and foremost, safety. Let's make sure we are wearing our required PPE, hearing and eye protection. Follow all of the safety rules that you will be instructed. Uh, don't bypass any type of machine guarding or anything like that. Report if you have any injuries or hazards. Report anything that might be unsafe.
and can get somebody or you hurt. Um, the GMPs, remember to wash your hands, sanitize properly before going out in the production floor. Where they require PPE, again, hair and beard nets, okay? Keep product protected. Wear your latex gloves whenever you're handling the product. Report any illness that you may have or anything that can contaminate the product or any contamination concerns. Keep your areas clean at all times. Clean as you go, clean at the end of the shift. We always need to have the facility tour ready, pretty much. When it comes to quality, again, pay attention to the product. Report any report any defects that you may see. Don't pass the problem down the line. Let's go ahead and catch them now rather than later. Report it to your supervisor so it can be fixed. Um, when it comes to filling out documentation, remember to use blue or black ink. Complete every field that is required. If you don't have information for any of those fields, make sure you use NA for not required when the information does not apply. Make the corrections properly, use the correct format for the date, keep the records truthful and accurate. And if you don't know something, speak up. Ask. If you don't know something or you're unsure about something, ask. If it looks wrong, most likely it's wrong. Okay, report it. Report it to your supervisor. Report it to a machine specialist. Never guess when safety, quality, and documentation is involved. And again, welcome to Morrison Cup Solutions.